Okay, guys, I want to do this week one exercise story, cube begin. I want to go over this because it's probably not going to be the easiest thing to do without a little bit of guidance. So I just want to circumvent any issues and just go ahead and be proactive here and get this demonstration to you guys before you get started. So let's take a look at what's involved here. So we're going to construct a 5 by 5 cube. Okay. Now, I want you to keep in mind that this is not a die line, so we're just going to be constructing this. I'm going to show you a die line for a smaller cube that I would like you to print out that you can practice folding and working with. But for the 5 by 5, for reasons that will preclude us from being able to print a 5 by 5 cube, we're going to assemble that. Okay? Let me show you what I mean. So the assignment says, here's what you're going to do. The assignment says you're going to find a die line of a cube, and you're going to import it into Illustrator. Okay. So what I have up here for you, and I'm going to include this, is this is a 2-inch by 2-inch cube. It's actually a box. Okay. And what I want you to do, see these dashed lines right here? Those are fold lines. And these solid lines are cut lines, okay? So what you need to do is this will print out on an 8.5 by 11 because these are 2-inch right here. So what you're going to do is you're just going to, this is all locked up, this file. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take this layer right here, and you're just going to lock it, create a new layer, and then draw this out. First draw the solid lines, then draw the dashed lines, and you'll need those for when you're assembling this, okay? So first draw the solid lines, then draw the dashed lines, okay? Then print it out. Print it out on, these are going to be practice ones. These are the 2 by 2 cubes, so these will be practice ones. These aren't going to be the 5 by 5. So you can print these out on regular printing paper for your printer. And then what I want you to do is take your X-Acto blades and just go ahead and cut that out where that cut line is. Cut line is the solid line, okay? That will leave you with this center part, but you'll still have these dashed lines so you know where to fold. Okay, so once you fold these in, these will be all the sides. Okay, that's the top with the fold that folds in to close the box. These are flaps that close down, and the bottom. So this is a self-enclosed box. This right here would be a glue flap. Okay, so what I want you to do is just practice. Print a bunch of these out. And just practice folding them up into a box, okay? And remember, craft counts. So be as neat as you can here. Use a straight edge and really try to get your boxes perfect. All right, that's a 2 by 2 box. All right, and the reason you're doing that is just so you get the idea of how die lines work, how folds work, and how an assembled package works from a 2-dimensional flat file. Very, very important practice technique, okay? Now, for the 5 by 5, that's the one you're going to apply the graphics to. And if we come over here and we see, this is the, find a die line of a cube online. And I'll supply that for you guys so you don't have to waste time looking for it. Trace the die line into a separate layer. Create a message with type spanning across the 6 faces of the cube. Deepen. Okay, so these are part of the 5 by 5, okay? And I'll get to that in a second. So what is due? Okay, so what we want you to do is we want you to practice as many of those cubes as you can. Fold them up. Really get to know. And you know what? Take your cubes and on paper, write in these, like even number them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fold them up to see how those numbers line up. Okay, this will teach you how to apply graphics to a flat file that's going to be folded into a 3-dimensional object, okay? So remember, practice and really get these oriented the way that you want. And as I said, practice a good 10 of these. Print out a bunch of them. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you're going to start to assemble once you decide what story you want to tell. Now, you're going to design some sort of narrative for the 5 by 5, but for the 2 by 2s, just practice with numbers to get the orientation right, okay? Now, for your 5 by 5, what you're going to do is this, all right? Now, obviously, you won't be able to print a 5x5 template at home. I could give you guys a template and you could go to Kinko's and print it on oversized paper, but not everybody's going to have access to a Kinko's, so we're going to do it this way. What you need to do is get your chipboard, all right? And that's what the assignment requires. Cube must be made out of chipboard panels. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to buy chipboard. It comes in 8.5 by 11, or maybe 11 by 17, but you have to get some thicker board. Okay, then what you're going to do is you're going to cut out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 5x5 squares. Okay, then on your workstation, you're just going to assemble them like this, just like this. All right, and then take tape, your tape, masking tape, and tape the insides. Okay, right there, tape there, here, 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 and here. Okay, so the whole thing is flat and taped together. Then don't tape it too tight because you're going to have to fold that. Okay, so but then once you have it taped up, then you're going to fold this side up, this side up, this side up, this side up, then tape those sides together, then pull the top down, and you'll have your top. Okay, now you are part of the assignment is for you to apply graphics on here. So you're gonna once you have your 5x5 cube assembled, it's up to you as to whether you want to print your 5x5 graphics. But what you're gonna do is print out 6 separate panels for your graphics, whatever narrative you want to tell here. All right, your 6 separate panels at 5x5 squares. All right, and you can do one of two things. Once this is assembled and taped, you can turn it over, put your graphics, glue or tape your graphics onto this, then fold it up, or you can go ahead, fold it up, tape it, and then put your graphics on. It might be easier if you're having trouble with this and trying to figure out where your numbers lie and how they should fall in order so that they're all pointing the right way, etc., etc. If you're having difficulty with that, I would suggest that you print out the box, fold it up first, then put your graphics. Now, for the sake of learning, make sure your last tape or your tape tabs are loose, because that way what you can do is once you assemble this, okay, you can go ahead, put your graphics on there, then take it back apart, leaving the main tape, okay, so that you can look at the flat file to see how the graphics are applied to the flat file in order to come up with the configuration that you want to be seen on the box. Okay? Hope that makes sense, guys. That's the best way I can think of to do this. All right? So again, your 2x2s, what you'll do is well, what I would do here is lock that down, and then, of course, like I said, cut your cut lines are solid lines, just go trace over that with your Illustrator pen tool. And then your dashed lines are your fold lines. So trace over those with your Illustrator pen tool and then go to your dash stroke. All right. Then print that out and assemble. And then the other one, you'll go ahead and print out the 5x5 squares. Lay them out flat like this. Tape them up. Fold them up. Apply your graphics. Make sure to disassemble it. You'll have to do a couple of different ones because once you disassemble it, I don't think the craft is going to be perfect enough to turn it in. But disassemble it, take a look at it, learn what you've done, all right? And then you'll just turn in your final. Remember now, when you turn in the final 5x5 box, craft counts, guys. Craft counts, okay? Really important. Craftsmanship is key, all right? So we can't see any tears or wrinkles or folds or, fingerprints on tape, things like that, okay? So just remember, craft counts. All right. So that is exercise story. This is week 1, exercise story cube. Begin.